All right. It is Wednesday, and that means we get to have incredible conversations with really cool people. And today is no exception. I we're having some technical difficulties, so we apologize on the outset, but please hang in there with us because there's some really great stuff coming your way. Before I introduce today's guest, though, I of course must thank our incredible founder, Shelley Lynn Hughes, because, of course, without Shelley, Cindy and I would not be here in front of you. And also, it's so important to thank our Talk Wednesday sponsor, Leanne Miles at the Clinton Wilkins Mortgage Team. So, Leanne, thank you for your continued support of these Talk Wednesdays. Thank you. Thank you. All right, without further ado, I am going to introduce you guys to Cindy Van Arnam. And Cindy is coming to us today from, she shared rainy British Columbia, West Kelowna, British Columbia to be specific. And as much as we know that BC is known for their rain, her area has been hit by fires. So the rain is a true blessing. But we're not here to talk about fires. We're not here to talk about weather. We're here to talk about Cindy and what Cindy does. And this is what Cindy shared with me right off the bat. So we're going to dive right in. All right. Tell us all the things, Cindy. Like, this is so fascinating. I've never met anyone who does what you do. So take it away. Take it away.
Well, as the caption says, I work with healers and coaches, and it started way back years ago, about 8 years ago, where I decided that I wanted to start my own business. I wanted to help coaches. I've been in the personal development industry for years because of a cocaine addiction and abusive relationships, and you name the bad decisions, Cindy's made it. And I started into the personal development world, and I started following all of the quote unquote greats, the productivity experts, Brendan Burchard, T. Harv Eker, Tony Robbins. I followed all of them. And I really realized I wanted to get involved in the coaching industry, but I didn't know what that looked like. I was really good with technology. Technology doesn't scare me. And so after a series of let's go back to college and try event and promotions management, and that wasn't working out, I started a business while I was in college as a mature student. And part of that required me to go to events and volunteer at these events. Well, I chose an event to volunteer at that had 150 people of my dream client in the room. And I started a business as a virtual assistant working with healers, coaches, helping them build the technology behind the scenes. So building their websites, building all those funnels and all that fun stuff that very few people love to do. And we're really working on that. And as I was doing that, what happened was I realized how much I hated it. I hated every second of it because it wasn't my true calling. And I found myself broke, living PayPal to PayPal, I call it, in the entrepreneurial online space. I was borrowing from the bank of mom. I didn't know how I was going to pay my rent. I was burnt out. I was in adrenal fatigue. I was exhausted, and I didn't know, I had nothing left. And at that point, I'd never really explored spirituality in any way. I had read the Bible front to back and the Quran front to back, but I'd never really dove into the spiritual aspect of it. I just wanted to know what I was getting myself into. And so I met this woman at an event, at that same event, actually. And she started talking to me about universal laws and numerology and meditating. And I thought, I don't know about this. This woman's a little bit out there for me. But what happened was I was drawn to her. There was something about what she was saying that I had to keep listening and keep following. And so I ended up studying with her for 7 years. And we've since gone separate ways, but I studied with her for a very long time, and I became embodied in universal law, the divine timing rhythm, which is a big part of that, and understanding numerology. And so I've bridged the gap now between all that technology and all those business skills that we require in the online space, but also being spiritual and allowing your intuition to play in that as well, and understanding your own rhythm so that you know when to go, you know when to pause. You're not judging yourself for Netflix binging when you're actually exhausted. You're not judging yourself for forgetting to shower and eat when you're busy. You can understand that rhythm, and you know that there's a go and a pause and a go and a pause. And each person has their own unique rhythm. And we discover that through numerology and a few other pieces. Hopefully that makes sense in what I do. It's a kind of a long, convoluted story, but
I always believe that it makes sense to who it's meant to make sense for.
yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. We all know that in business, nobody can be for everybody. As
Mhm.
much as we think we want to be, we can't be. And that's where, though, it's stepping into who you are, what you want to do, why you want to do it, and being authentic to that. And then your people will be attracted to that.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, more than ever, you're a true testament to that. And just how much you followed your heart and your passion, and look at what it's done for you,
Mhm.
right? So I think if somebody just looks at your story alone, it's like, well, hello, like I did it, right? I did it.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you've got this coaching space that you do. You're creating this magically playful income and impact community. So, community is really, really big. Um, and it's getting bigger and bigger all the time. So, I would love to hear a little bit more about Cindy's magically playful income and impact community. It sounds fascinating.
That's so fun. Yes, so this is a Facebook group right now. It's growing exponentially, which I'm super excited about. And it's a place where I share a lot of the numerology. I talk about the divine timing cycle all the time in that space. I run a couple of 5-day challenges in that space right now as well. One of them is a visibility challenge to help people understand and develop a better relationship with social media. I think social media can be confusing, overwhelming, and a lot of the people that I work with don't want anything to do with it. But it's a very powerful tool to help you build your business, especially if you're doing any kind of healing or coaching practice and you want to grow your business. And so I teach people how to change their relationship with social media in that space. Now, I also do a 5-day magical money reset because I find a lot of healers and spiritual beings have this concept of spiritual poverty where it's not okay for me to make a lot of money. But I believe that if good people make a lot of money, we do a lot of good in the world. And so I work with you to help you shift that money story and step into a really fun, playful way of making more money. This community is absolutely playful and meant for those people who know their own magic. They've got multiple gifts, probably multiple modalities, different certifications. I work with healers that have upwards of 20 different modalities and they don't know how to pull it all together. So I talk about numerology, divine timing. I share really feel good, fun business tips in that space, and we have a lot of fun.
Amazing, amazing. And I pulled this from some research that I was doing on you, and it really hit home for me that you know you are worthy of an incredible life. And I think so often as entrepreneurs we get so wrapped up in the doing and the service side of, there's the hustle, that I know I lived by for so many years, just trying to be all things to all people, and
Mhm.
you can lose yourself so easily in that. So I love how you're drawing this in, this back to, yes, you can be an entrepreneur and you can help other people, but you get to honor you in that process as well. And that's really special. That's really special.
So important.
Okay, so you're a coach, but you are also a podcaster.
Yes.
So I noticed that. Okay, I'm going to hide this one and I'm going to pull up this one. So you have, okay, and this again, you life at full blast. Wow. Okay, so that can mean so many different things. So
Yes.
where did this name in particular come from, Cindy? I can't wait to hear this story.
Oh my gosh. Well, I have always lived life very out loud. I'm a very loud person. And I've always, if you go back to any of my stories, actually on my blog, on my website, there are several stories of what I did when I was growing up. And there's never a dull moment. I can promise you that. And all of my friends kept saying, you need to write a story, you need to tell these stories. And so it became a blog. But it really comes down to living your life in alignment with who you are. And for me, that happens to be at full blast, out loud, adventure, play, fun, yelling and screaming, motivating people and inspiring people. But that doesn't necessarily mean your full blast is the same as mine. So you get to choose your full blast, whatever that is. But what I believe, and I lost my father at the age of 16, and he died suddenly. And I know that he had regrets in his life of things that he didn't get to do. And I think life at full blast really means when you come to your deathbed, will you look back and say, I did everything that I desired to do? I lived my life to its fullest. Or will you regret that you didn't go and do the things that you wanted to do?
Mm, mhm, mhm. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I just finished, I've shared a few, in a few different interviews that I'm quite an avid reader. And I just finished reading, I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Donald Miller, who he has a marketing company out of Nashville. And he's somebody I resonate with and I really admire his process and whatnot. And he wrote a book called Hero on a Mission, and
Mm,
one
mhm.
of the things that really helped him in his journey through life and now, incredible success is he wrote his eulogy. He sat down one day and wrote his eulogy. And every single day now, he says he sits down and he starts his day by reading his eulogy. And it's not to be morbid, it's to live his life with true intention and knowing what he wants, his legacy to be, helps him really weed out what's important in everyday life. So this is what really resonates with what you're doing as well. I really feel from you. Your energy is wow, like your energy is incredible. And
Oh,
I have to share, you guys, Cindy and we met on here, oh my gosh, a couple weeks ago. We tried to record and it was worse than it is today as far as our connectivity. And all Cindy could do was giggle. And I'm telling you, like she just
mhm.
rolls with the punches. We're chatting in the chat box and but it wasn't happening and it wasn't meant to be. And that just says so much about you that we can't take life so serious, right? You got to get
Yes.
out. You got to have the fun. You
Yes.
got to be able to laugh at yourself. And so I really, really appreciate that about you, and that you're teaching business people, entrepreneurs, that is possible, right? Because too many people think business is way too serious.
No.
Am I connecting though with really what you're about?
Yes.
Okay, good,
Yes.
good. I just really want to
Yes.
make sure that I'm translating. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, you
you are,
are.
but again, your energy.
Thank you. Yeah, this whole technology thing, it cracks me up. And I think this is the one thing that stands out the most for especially what I do is that so many entrepreneurs get stressed out about technology and we fight with it and we beat our heads against the computer and we're pushing the button and why won't it do the thing? And I used to be that person. I used to get so frustrated with it because I worked with technology all day long. And it took a bit to really change my relationship with social media, but I realized life is way too short to be fighting with a website or a button that doesn't work. And what I've always found is that if you walk away and go do something completely different and shift your energy, you come back, the technology just works just like that. And I mean, life is way too short to take things so seriously. I think so many people out there, no matter what business you're in, people are craving authenticity. People are craving real life. And we've had this facade in business for so long where you've got to show up and look exactly perfect and have the perfect headshot and you've got to make sure that your Instagram looks perfect and you've got like it's just nobody cares anymore. People want to see you without the filters. People want to see you with all the technology glitches because that's reality. That's real life. And we've got to start showing that business is a part of life. It's fun, it's playful, and we don't have to take it so seriously. We can laugh at ourselves a little bit once in a while, all the time.
Yeah. No, so true. And that's a mic drop moment right there. Exactly what you said right there. Okay, so what does a gal who's all about full blast coaching, living your life full blast, what does a gal that lives her life at full blast, what does Cindy do when you're not being an entrepreneur? What
Oh,
lights
yeah.
you up? Where would I find you hanging out in West Kelowna? Or do you hang out in West Kelowna? Maybe you go elsewhere. I don't know. I would love to know more about Cindy the person
Mhm.
now, because that is so much of what you bring to your business. So
Yeah. Ugh, I love this
tell us the
question. Yeah.
things.
So you're gonna find me hanging out in my kitchen more than anywhere else. I love to cook. Cooking is my creative expression. I'm a rule breaker, so you will not find me baking. There's way too many rules to follow. But I will be with the spice jars doing all sorts of strange things. I once put watermelon in mac and cheese and it worked. Don't ask me how. I will never do it again. But I'm adventurous. I love to go out and explore. So you will find I love food. I'm a huge foodie. And Kelowna, West Kelowna, this whole area in the Okanagan has incredible food. So my fiance and I go out for dinner 2 or 3 times a week. We're exploring different foods, trying new things. This is wine country, so you'll find me wine tasting. Beautiful scenery. You'll find me at the beach. You'll find me in the mountains. And I also love to travel. So I'm headed to Vegas here in October of 2023. I'm going to Mexico. I've lived in Jakarta for a year. I lived in Dubai for a year. I'm all over the place. But if you want to find me at home, I'm in the kitchen every time.
That's incredible. You and I are kindred spirits. I'm the same. Love to cook, hate to bake. Like, no,
Right.
thank you. I don't want that kind of precision in my life. I don't want rules, right? There's too many
Nope.
rules to baking. Now, true bakers say otherwise, but still, I'm not that interested. I
Me neither.
like you. I want to just open the cupboard. I run a my husband and I own a sandwich shop, and I make soup, and I make
Mm.
soup very much like somebody paints. And then what's interesting is, I literally are like, I don't know, like something speaks to me, and I go reach for the tarragon, or I go reach for the garlic, but then I make this soup, and I don't know what to call it. And it's quite a thing. Become quite a thing because people want to know, well, what kind of soup do you have today? And I go like, I don't know, really good soup. And it's this really interesting thing in life where people need to have labels and categories, and they need to know what it is. And it's just like, Just trust me, it's good. Have a bowl of it. Who cares what it's called?
I love
But
that. What
that's
kind
where
of
I
soup?
think, somebody like you is more of who, who's meant to come into our sandwich shop, right? Like our sandwich shop is not for everybody. Um,
Yes.
just like Cindy Van Arm, you could be for a lot of people, but you're not for everybody. So who is do you have an ideal client or an ideal, if you were to dream up that that person, so to speak, what does that person
Mhm.
do, or how do they live their life, or what zone do you really tend to jam in, Cindy?
Yeah, I love people who are motivated and like to get things done. I really want to work with people who want to get paid for their gifts. And so many of all humans have these gifts, but not everybody is actually motivated to go do the work that it takes to get paid for that. So that's really where I'm focused. I'm very, we've gone through this shift collectively where we've gone from this masculine, the hustle culture, to more of the feminine, let's sit in the backyard and meditate and watch butterflies. I think that's wonderful, but we've got to have both for business. They both need to belong. And so I work with
Mm,
people who are willing to access both sides of that energy field and work with both. So definitely the motivated ones. Yeah.
mm. There's a time and place for all of it, right? A time and a place for all of it.
Yeah.
All right. So where is the best place? So, somebody else who's really clicking with your vibe and clicking with, all right, I want access to what she's got. So obviously your podcast would be a great place for people to really get a good feel for you. So Life at Full Blast podcast. So is that on all of the like, are you
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts?
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's also on my website. Like literally, if you want to find anything about me, go to my website. That's the fastest place. And I am on all the social medias except, well, there's a couple that I'm not on, but Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok I am quite active on. So you can find me on any of those. But really, the website's the fastest place because you'll find all my social media there as well.
Okay. So here's the website, guys. So www.fullblastcoaching.com. There's a ton of wonderful content on that website. I highly, highly, highly recommend you check it out. You can reach out to Cindy there, or of course, here's her social handle, and very active on there. So Cindy, I've been having a lot of fun with meeting people on here, and I've been getting to know a different side of people through one particular question, and
Ooh,
I'm
fun.
I'm extra interested to hear your answer to this particular question. And it goes like this. Okay. So if you were to give a TED talk on
Mhm.
nothing that you are known for, what would your TED talk be about?
Oh my God. What
Not
a
my
question.
question. Isn't it though?
Yeah.
It's me. Anyway, I'm just gonna sit back and let you marinate in that for a second. TED talk on nothing you are known for.
Oh boy. I would give a TED talk on how to milk a cow and the care and nurturing of your cattle so that they turn out to be really good steak in the end. I don't even know.
I love
That's a
that.
hilarious question. I think that's funny. It's so hard to think of what you're not known for because you know so much, right? And as I was thinking about that, I'm like, I grew up on a farm with 18,000 chickens, and my brain immediately went to something around chickens. I'm like, yeah, but everybody knows that I'm known for that too, so I can't talk about that. That is a good question. Tricky.
Isn't it? Isn't it? Right? Because it's a bit of a brain screw, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like right away you're like, okay, I'm giving a TED talk, and then all of a sudden it takes that left turn, right? You're like, whoa, she said not. Um, it's so fascinating that you went to animals. So there was
Yeah.
another individual that I interviewed here, and Justin Justin's answer was about cats and the energy and the vibration that cats give off, right?
Thank-
So there you
Yeah.
go,
Well, I couldn't speak about that because
right?
I have
And
two
that's the thing. I think
1-year-old
we need
kittens.
to we need to start a whole new TED Talk series now, right? On these whole new branches of things that people aren't known for. Oh man, that's so fascinating. So fascinating, right?
I love
I would never have put you on a farm in a million years. Yeah, not at all. I wasn't getting the farm girl vibe, right? So I think that's amazing. And it really just shows how we all have so many layers to us for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, Cindy,
Yeah.
you are so fun. You are so fun.
Oh,
Okay, we are coming close to wrapping up here. So I'm just gonna hand it over to you. Any last things that you wanna, tell the people, anything you want to share about you before we sign off? The platform's yours.
oh my gosh. Okay. Well, thank you, first of all, for this conversation. I know technology wise, we've been kind of back and forth playing tennis, so that's always fun. But I think if I was to leave the audience with anything, whether you resonate with me or not, it's really about going out and living your best life, whatever that looks like for you. We've been programmed by society to think we're supposed to want certain things in life. As a young female, I was told that I was supposed to go to college, get a job, get married, have kids, have the white picket fence. Well, I think I have pretty much blown apart the whole I play by the rules idea on today's show. And so, I've decided to live my life my way. And I think that's so important that we all do that, whatever that looks like. If you want to drive fancy cars, go get fancy cars. If you want to live in a mansion, live in a mansion. If you want to live in a cabin in the woods off grid, go do that. If you want 18,000 chickens, I don't recommend it, but go do that if that's what you want. And live your greatest life because you're only here for a short amount of time. And I think we get so distracted by the mundane, the busy, the seriousness of life that we forget to live out loud. Go live out loud, whatever that looks like for you.
Awesome. Live at full blast.
Yeah.
Turn it up, right? Turn it up loud, and go
Yes.
let the wind blow in your hair if that's what suits you.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, for your energy, for your fun that you bring to things, and I can't wait to see the impact that you're going to continue the ripple effect of Cindy Van Arnam. So thank you, Cindy. Thank you to Shelley, and of course, thank you to Leanne for your sponsorship and for allowing Cindy and I to have this time together. So, guys, until next Wednesday, have yourself a great week and keep pursuing your dreams. Go after what you want. Take care.